Sarah, we are back for another Real-Isode, and I'm going to do something a bit different today. So I'm holding in my hands Where Should We Begin? A Game of Stories by Esther Perel. This game, if anyone doesn't know Esther Perel, they definitely should look her up. So she has these two decks of cards that are basically things to ask to get to know someone better. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick this randomly.
So
I'm going to pick one up, and I'm just going to hold it up to you to see if you can read it. So, okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hold still. I wish everyone would forget about the time that I blank. Oh, no.
This might be our new structure.
I have got such a good one. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on then.
So let me preface this by saying I am generally really, really good at remembering names and faces. I can meet someone for 5 seconds, and then 10 years later I'll be like,
That's
Mark!
amazing.
I will remember that person. So I had basically a glitch in the matrix with this one person 3 times. Let me tell you this story. So when Michael and I moved to Flagstaff, we were sort of welcomed into town by some of our friends who were also pro runners in the community. And so one of those friends was like, hey, come over to the house for dinner. We're going to have a bunch of people over. We're going to play games. And we're like, great, we're there. So my husband and I show up. So we meet one of the pro runners in town who I had known just through like the road running circuit, and he had a girlfriend. Okay, so I meet this girlfriend. I spend all night playing games with her. It's super fun. And then we leave. Okay, so like 2 weeks later, my husband and I are like, hey, I kind of feel like ice cream. Like, let's go get some Dairy Queen. So we go into Dairy Queen and we see this same pro runner, and he's standing with this woman. And so I go to this woman and I was like, oh, hey, I'm Sarah. It's nice to meet you. And she's like, oh, actually, we've met before. We were at this game night and you were my partner in this game. So that was really embarrassing. 3 weeks after that, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life. So I'm out for a run and I see this girl that I know, and she's running with a friend. She's coming at me. And so I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to jump in with her for a mile because I was out running. So I turn around and I start running with her. And then after about a half mile, I turned to the other girl. I was like, I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself. I'm Sarah. And as you can already guess, but this is not it. So as you can already guess, it's the same girl that I had not. And then so she goes, oh, actually, we've met before. I'm so-and-so. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You wouldn't believe who I just did this to. I actually just did this to this guy's girlfriend. And she's like, that's me. I'm the girlfriend. So I literally was like, I bailed out. I was like, okay, this is my turn. Goodbye. And I just left. And I was like, she must think that I am either the dumbest person she has ever met in her entire life. And I went over and I told Michael, I was like, so literally 4 times back to back to back to back, I introduced myself to this girl. And I swear to you right now, I could not pick her out of a lineup. There is something about her face that my brain just will not save in my like mental Rolodex of people. So embarrassing. And yeah, if I ever meet her again, I'm screwed because I could not pick her out of a lineup. I'm dead serious.
That's so funny as a story, but also to hear from you because you are so good with remembering things. Like, that's the thing is like for her, she probably is like, wow, like she just is not listening and paying attention at all. But you really are so good at remembering like details and things about
it. It was so extensive, so layered that I feel like either that or she must be like, Sarah Crouch is a giant bee. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's either that. If I was her, that's what I would be thinking. Oh man,
wow, that's such a good one.
That is the one thing. I wish I could forget it because it keeps me up at night still. What about you, Tina?
Well, this is really embarrassing and makes me look so horrible. But when I was nobody knows about this other than me and this one person involved. This keeps me up and I always feel like a horrible person for doing this. When I was 5, I don't know, I was under 10. I can't remember how old I was. There was this little boy in my sister's class, so 2 years younger than me, and he was I can't remember if he was being mean to me or my sister, but like I didn't like him because of being mean to someone. And One day I was playing with my skipping rope, which had wooden handles, and I smacked myself in the face with one of the wooden handles, and I blamed him. I said that he did it to me and he got in trouble. Everyone's opinion of me is forever changed.
I am crying.
Yeah,
that is so just like mine. That is so out of character. That is just the most like vicious Machiavellian.
Yeah, so he got in trouble for hitting me, and he wasn't even near me when it happened.
Oh my gosh, that is brutal. Wow. Did he ever confront you about it?
No, because we were like, I mean, I was, under 10, and I don't even know what his name is. I feel like it might be Alan, but I'm not even sure.
The funny thing is, like, when you're a kid, it's like you can immediately make friends with someone, but you can also just, like, hate someone on sight. Yeah. Like, there was a kid named Brian Uola. I had no reason to hate him. I just, like, chose him as my arch nemesis for my grade school years.
But you have a younger sister, so you probably, like... anyone who was mean to my sister.
Oh no! I was the bully of my younger sister.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was too, but like, I feel like anyone who hurt it was like, I can be mean to her, but you do that, and I will kill you. Yeah. So like, anyone who was mean to my sister, but it's the same thing with like friends. You know, when someone hurts one of your friends, and then they're like, oh, well, it was a misunderstanding, and you're like, no, it wasn't. That person forever has a like. Check mark next to their name, like I got my eye on you.
I think I was just more shallow. I just hated him because of his face. Like it's just really, really terrible. But man, so I'm probably a very sweet boy.
Yeah, I don't really have any memory. I feel shame for doing that.
That is wow. Well, I think it was worth it just to make me laugh as hard as I laughed. Just now. That honestly, that was the hardest I have laughed during one of these Real-Isodes. That was because it was just completely left turn from who you are as a person. It's hard.
I know, it really is. So yeah, there you go. I'm glad I gave you a laugh for the day, and probably everyone else too. Another great Real-Isode. I think we should do some more of those with the cards. So thank you, Sarah.
That's got to be a regular thing now.
And
thank you, Tina.
We'll see you next time.